Hello there and welcome. My name is Jimmy Wikman, and in this video I want to talk to you a little bit about the strategy collection. I made a video before Team 25 in Barcelona where I said that I was a little bit confused on what the strategy collection is and who the intended target is for those. And I went to Barcelona. I tried to figure out what is this. I even attended a workshop where we actually went into the different apps and they explained a lot of things. They presented the roadmap ahead, which is looking really good, by the way. And the outcome of this was that I know a little bit more now about talent. I know a little bit more about focus, and obviously I still have no clue what Align is because it's a weird product. But what I came out with, and I've spent a couple of weeks now after Teams also trying to dig deeper into what are these things. And I have to admit, as much as I would love to say that I think these are the best things since sliced bread, I don't think they are. And I don't really understand what Atlassian is trying to do with the strategic collection here. And let me break it down for you, because I have been very open to Atlassian and to everyone else also that there's a huge gap and that the Atlassian platform has. And that is that it does not have a strategic element. You don't have finance, for example. You don't have resource allocation. You don't have portfolio management. So when they announced that they would have now a new collection that would be portfolio, resource management, and you would actually have finance in there, I was super happy. The thing is just that while Jira and the other tools are basically on team level, you might get up to very lowest parts of the operational level. And the strategic one, the strategic collection, goes far beyond that one. It basically goes on the C level. And that is not where we need the tool. Everyone that I know are looking for a PPM tool, a portfolio and project management tool. And unless you are confused about what project management is, you probably know that Jira is absolutely not a project management tool. It is a task management tool. And you do not have things like resource management, finance, you don't have risk management and things like that you need to have for proper project management. And as much as Align wants to be a portfolio tool, it is a SAFe-based application, and most companies don't use SAFe for whatever reason. I, for example, is certified as a SAFe instructor, and I still don't understand why you would use it. Anyway, let's not delve into that one. So for me, the problem is that there's still a huge gap between Jira and the strategic collection. And that gap is so big that I do not even see the value into the strategic collection at the moment. And that's a problem, I think, because when I look into the focus, for example, I love the way they have thought about it there. I will show you in a minute what that one looks like. When I look into talent, I was like, resource management, everyone needs this one on management level. And then you look into it and it's an HR tool, basically for employments. And it has nothing to do with resource allocation. It has nothing to do with that one at all. It is basically employment records. And I was like, nice, but is that what we actually need right now? HR wants it, of course. But is it good enough for them to actually abandon their current setup because they have their onboarding, offboarding, all of those things connected to their HR tools? And then if you look into Align, it is what it is. It's not really what I would consider a portfolio management tool. It has a weird setup. I will get into that one later on. So my impression so far is that the strategy collection is basically flying on the side. It has good intentions, but it is not where we actually need the tools to be. And when I say we, I mean us users, not just me as a representative for a partner, a solution partner. because I could probably sell focus very easily. I could probably use it myself very easily, which is the criteria I have for being able to sell it. But I don't see any way for me to sell talent. I don't see anyone wanting to use Align. And the cost is insane. It is so expensive to actually get this collection, and the value that you get from it cannot be motivated with the value or with the functionality that you currently have. And it hurts my heart to actually have to say this one, because this is management tools, strategic tools, my kind of tools, the things that I want to use. And I'm so disappointed that they are not there yet. So let me just go through. I don't have a line to show you. Obviously, that one never works for me. And let's start with the line then, to tell you a little bit of my impression of a line. So a line is still an integration. It is not really an Atlassian tool in itself. It is an integration to an external tool that is very clumsy, and that is basically duplicated now within Focus a little bit. It doesn't really provide any value. I know a few companies that have actually started to implement it, and they quickly abandoned it because it's not what the people that actually are supposed to use it want. And it is not connected in the way that people actually need it. So one thing, for example, that for me is a red flag is that you have, for example, a conversion rate between story points and hours, which tells me everything I need to know about the tool, that you think that you can actually allow people in Jira to have story points, and you can still have finance, and you can have any form of portfolio management. That doesn't compute. That doesn't work at all. No one can set a time value on a story point, because if they did, it will actually be a timed estimate. So for me, Align is a product that needs to, I think it will actually go away sooner or later. They will strip the functionality for it, and they will build something else from it, because it's not connected, and the vision is to have an Atlassian platform. You can't have a tool then, or one of the apps that is not even on the platform, and that is actually an integration, that is a completely separate instance. So Align for me is, I've never seen the value in that tool, to be honest, even though I have worked with companies that use Safe, and even they don't actually like it very much, to be honest. So that one needs to be revamped, I think, or it needs to be rebranded, and it needs to be integrated properly. So that's Align, kind of like the meme of the Atlassian platform, the things that no one previously actually could even get their hands on. They couldn't actually test it because it is a completely separate product that doesn't even exist in Atlassian platform. So yeah, that one is a sad chapter, I think. And then we have talent, and I can actually show you. It is completely broken at the moment, which tells you everything you need to know about it. So let me just switch over so I can share it. So this is my demo setup that I have, and as you can see right now, everything is blank. So the way this one actually works is you don't have any actual management in the tool itself. It will just connect to another system where you have people, and it will just bring them in for the purpose of visualizing things. This is not a bad tool in itself. I actually like the way it works from an HR perspective, but from a strategic perspective, if I want to do resource management, it has no functionality whatsoever here. And they are connecting funds to this one. So they are actually building a new integration, I assume, so you can fetch from a finance system. So again, this is more of a reporting tool where you actually fetch data from other systems than an actual working tool. But for now, I got some warnings yesterday, and apparently it is completely broken at the moment. I will make a separate video for that one once they have actually connected the funds for it, because that could actually lift this one up quite a lot. And I know that the team behind this one is working hard on actually making this one make sense. And they were very clear that this is not a resource management tool in that sense. So they are trying to make sure that what they promised a little bit on the stage in the Team 25 in Anaheim, where they actually used different terms. They have walked back a little bit from that one, so they don't say resource management anymore. And they're clear that this one is more from an HR perspective. But basically what you have here is an overview of your employment pool. And you can actually see if you have gaps somewhere or what kind of people you need to employ. And if you're doing new engagements, you can see, do we need to hire people? And if so, what kind of profiles do we actually need? So great from an HR perspective in that regard, when it works. Focus, on the other hand, is not bad at all. This one is, I think they have changed it back and forth a little bit. So basically it is a focus area tool. So you can, for me, feels like they have taken goals and they have taken projects, merged them together and lifted them up a little bit. And so what you do here is you have your focus areas, and within each focus area then you can have sub-focus areas and you can have goals. So if I take efficient operations here, for example, you recognize the tabs here are very similar. You have your updates, you have your work here connected to it, and a little bit information on followers and stuff like that. Just like goals and projects, you have the About tab for it. You will see the updates, and you can see the focus areas. This is probably the one that I like the most. So you can actually see on a high level then, these are the focus areas that are connected to it, and you can see if they are at risk or something like that. So if you're imagining sitting, for example, in a portfolio meeting where you actually go through the different initiatives or projects that you have, this one is great, so you can see which one are at risk, which one are pending, which one are active, and so on. So you can actually have the conversation if there's any activities that you need to do with these things. And the goals are similar. You will actually now know goals has been connected to this one. It will also show on a similar level. And the work will actually tell you here now, so you can actually see the other work that is connected to it. And in positions, this one will tell you then which positions are hired into this one. So you can see, for example, if you're missing, you need to hire, for example, or you need to bring in external consultants, or you need to have specific roles connected to this one. And this is great when you have large initiatives or large projects. It's not so useful if you have smaller ones. So then you might not need to fill positions. You need to allocate the available resources already there. And this one is not where I would like to have it. Now you also have what should we call it? The visual view. This one I actually don't like. It was better before. The reason I don't like it is that you have these different levels here. And if I want to show sub-focus areas, for example, I would expect them to fold out, but I would still see the whole tree. But this one does not do that anymore. Now it actually, I cannot scroll up and down here. It actually vanishes. So it becomes like different views and that I can actually move in and out of. So if I go to this one, now it will move out of where I actually was, and it will now show the goals, or maybe not. Seem to be very broken today. And this one means that I lose the perspective. I would like to be able to expand and show more things, but I can only move up and down and in and out. I cannot see the full tree. And this is something I feel that is severely lacking. So the only way I can actually see a full view is if I go to this view here, and I can actually see everything that is connected to it, because then I can see it in the tree here, so I can see. But as you can see, I'm still locked into innovation here. So I cannot actually see the full focus tree except when I am at the root. And that means that I cannot really move back and forth, and I cannot, it will have this weird loading sequence. So if I'm down at priority here and I want to move up, it will actually, it's like I'm navigating, it's like a paging. So I go to another place. I cannot scroll up and down between these and expand where I need to. If I open something here, I should be able to see it. But this one is basically a combination of projects and goals on steroids. So while I like this one, I'm actually using Big Picture instead, because their OKR, KPR setup is actually, for me, better. I like this one better because I get the full overview, I can open things up, and I can still see the full view. And all this information feels a little bit, and the same way I feel about projects and goals is that they duplicate a little bit. So if I want to update, do I update on the goal or on the focus area? Which one should I actually publish information on, depending on how many, if I have one focus area with one goal, for example, where do I publish the information? So focus is coming along. I think this can be a really, really good product for strategic planning, especially on the C-level and down to middle management. I think this one can be really good. It is a little bit detached still from the operational level, so where you actually do the work in Jira, for example. It's not really connecting to that one, so there's still a gap there, and I think that they are aware of this and they are working towards it. So how can I summarize this then? I really, really want Atlassian to have a really good strategic portfolio, but they are not there at the moment as I see it. This is not the suite of PPM tools. This is not a strategic tool set for resource allocation, risk management, or everything like that. This is on a much higher level. And I think that is a problem because the disconnect between Jira and Focus, for example, is quite big. And the disconnect between Talent and Jira, there's basically nothing connecting them at all, because it is an HR employment tool and it has nothing to do with operational work. So I think this can be a problem, and I really don't see who the customers are that will use these, because there are better tools for all of these things. So if you want to have good portfolio management, for example, there are better tools for it. You can use both Tempo and you can use Big Picture, for example. They are far better than Align in that regard. Unless you're running safe, then maybe Align is a little bit better for you. But the disconnect between Jira and Align is still doesn't compute for me. And if you want to have resource management, Talent is not it. That's not going to help you on the operational level or even on the lower strategic levels. It will help you to handle your employment pool and maybe even to some degree your vendor management, but it's not there for operational work, which is where the big need is at the moment. And if you're looking at basically goal-oriented strategies where focus should be, I think there are better tools out there, or I know that there are better tools out there. I think Focus can find its niche, but no one is going to buy all three of these products as a collection, because if I want to have strategic planning, I want to have a proper portfolio tool, and I don't want Align, and I want to have resource management, but I don't want to have Talent, at least not today. So the sales will be very difficult for this reason, because it is at the wrong level and it is the wrong tools for the big use that I see my customers and that I personally want to have. That is a PPM suite. I want to have portfolio management. I want to be able to sit on IT operation level, for example, or I want to sit on tools level, or I want to see on a governance level. And I want to see all the investment projects that I have. I want to see all the initiatives that I'm running, for example, within my existing organization. And I want to see how much am I actually stretching my organization when it comes to resource allocation. Do I have enough architects? Are people being pulled left and right? How many people can actually allocate to this investment project I want to do next year? And how does that affect everything else? These are the kind of tools I need because that is what, for me, strategic planning is. You need to have both the investment portfolio management and you need to have the operational portfolio management. And you need to have funds, you need to have finance, you need to have people, and you need to have allocations. That is what everyone that I know are looking for when it comes to strategic tools. Having strategic planning in terms of focus areas. Where do we want to focus our work? That is awesome. We need that too. But that's not where the big money is. That's not where the big use is. Because we desperately need to have tools for operational and mid-management. And that is where we need to have them. So for me, I'm still looking for the solution for that gap. And I have another video coming up for that one because I have started to go through. There's a lot of marketplace apps that call themselves PPM tools. And 90% of them are not. They are Gantt tools, basically, and they don't seem to understand what project management actually is. They're looking at it from an agile perspective, which means that you're still down on operational level and you don't plan very well. So that's not what project management is, at least not for me and many of my customers. And they still have the iron triangle that they need to actually figure out. And agility in projects is, I don't know what to say, it's an oxymoron. You can't have continuous improvement within a fixed price project. It doesn't work. So I'm sorry. I've really wanted to have a really great video here and saying that the strategic collection here is the best thing that's since sliced bread. But it's not, at least not for me, at least not for the use case I see that it needs to fill. And based on the roadmap I've seen, there are a lot of great things coming, but it's not going to solve that gap that is currently there. So, sorry to be a little bit of a downer in this video. I really, really hope that Atlassian will pick this one up and that they will find the proper solution for the operational strategic tools that we desperately need, especially the finance part and resource allocation part. But that was all I had for this video. I will continue to monitor the strategic collection because, like I said, it's where my heart is in the strategic part. And I will update you with news if anything positive or negative comes out, as always. But for now, I do not see the value in this one for the vast majority of users that are looking for PPM tools. Some of you might disagree and say that this is absolutely the best thing that's since sliced bread, and this is exactly what we need. And I'm really happy for you. And I hope that Atlassian will continue working on this one to make this collection the best thing that you can ever have. So with that, I guess the only thing for me to say right now is that I hope that you have a great day and an awesome week.